All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for the OlimoLeague January finals. Gonna have ourselves a little PVT here. Why don't you go ahead and introduce our first player here?
Yep. Spawning in the top right, one of the best processes from Korea, it's ZEST.
And spawning here at the bottom left corner of the map is the red Terran player. Currently teamless. He is, I guess, a one-man army here. It is BYUN.
He doesn't need a team, Snoopy. He can do it all by himself.
Absolutely.
ZEST going for the standard Gate Scout. BYUN as well, opting to play a bit standard for now, putting his barrack down in his main. Yeah. I think this is a map where proxy barracks is actually quite fairly popular. Parents love to, build a proxy barracks right below the Protoss main, just because it's easy to jump up if there wasn't a full wall. But of course, it looks like ZEST is going to make a full wall.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not a bad map to proxy, but again, in the best of 3 like this, where it's a short series, I feel like a lot of players like to kind of play a bit more standard, just because there is kind of less chance for going for a risky play. I mean, if you kind of go for a risky play and you lose, you're basically one game away from losing the series. So I think players tend to play a bit more standard in such a short series like this.
Yeah. Both of these players, I'm sure, are also confident about their abilities. Meanwhile, BYUN opting for a Marine first build. Now, he's been doing this a lot recently, being a bit greedy, skipping the Reaper Scout just so he can get to his tech of choice a bit quicker than usual.
Yeah, save a bit of extra gas, get that faster reactor or factory. Gonna be some sort of, I guess, 1-1-1 build here, it seems like.
Yep.
Now, on the other side, we do see ZEST kind of biding his time, waiting to plant down. Oh, looks like a Twilight Council here.
Yep, Twilight Council openings in PvT, I think, is it's the way ZEST loves to open up in this matchup, I think, as opposed to a Stargate opener. Just because, he likes both a Blink opener, but also, a DT Shrine follow-up.
Yeah, we'll see which tech he goes for. He's thrown down his robotics facility, which kind of indicates to me that he might go for the DT route, just because usually when the Protoss open up with Blink, they don't really get that early.
You get 2 gates first, don't you, before a robo?
Uh-huh.
If you're not going for DT.
Oh, and there it is.
There we go, the DT Shrine.
Alright, gonna have ourselves a DT play here coming out. Let's see how BYUN deals with this. Of course, there are several ways for the Terran players to counter this. It's a bit harder to DT a Terran compared to, like, let's say a Zerg. Just because, the Terran got the scans, they got the engineering bay with the turrets, and then they also had the Raven. So 3 possible options to get detection.
I don't know, Snoopy, you say that, but I see a lot of times where Protoss, build DTs and ravage the Terran's mineral line.
Yeah, we definitely seen a lot of games like that. Let's see if this is one of these games. So far, though, BYUN is going to go ahead across the map with those 3 wooden mines load up in the medevac. At the same time, that Warp Prism is flying across the map as well.
Yep. ZEST, of course, putting his stat down. I think even though he opened up with a DT Shrine, these days he tends to be more macro about it.
Oh. Ouch! Oh. That one really hurt.
That's the problem we don't mind, to be honest. One small mistake and, all your probes go poof.
Poof indeed. Let's see if these DTs can get some damage done. Oh, unfortunately there is a turret there, so ZEST's going to go ahead and just tap out. BYUN is going to take a really quick 1-0 lead here. And we're going to go ahead and get into game number 2 very shortly here. All right, looks like we're back here for game number 2 here. So let's go ahead and just get this started.
Yep. Spotting in the bottom left. You know, the Protoss trying to get as many games as he can before entering the military this year. It's ZEST.
And spawning here at the top right corner of the map, he's the red Terran player. Let me go ahead and actually update the scoreboard. 1-0, just one game away from clinching this series. Can he do it? It is the BYUN.
So this is not a map where the Protoss can actually, you know, do a full wall in his main, and it becomes quite hard for the Reaper to get in, you know, for full scout. Pretty much, if a Reaper comes in when you know it's walled off, you're pretty much sacking the Reaper.
Yeah, this one is even easier to wall off than Oxide. Of course, on Oxide, it takes 3 buildings. This one only takes 2. And yeah, it's a lot easier to wall off indeed. And looks like ZEST will be going across the map with his first initial probe like last game. I'm going to go ahead and start being annoying as usual.
Yep. Been opting to put his barracks, you know, not proxying his barracks as he did, you know, in the first game. Let's see whether this time he skips a Reaper or not.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind if he actually went for the same exact build as last game. I mean, that worked out pretty well for him. Unfortunately, ZEST kind of microed that a little bit because he did spot the Widowmine in time, just wasn't able to spot the 3rd Widowmine being dropped. I think he was focused on the Warp Prism DT drop.
Yeah, StarCraft, it's hard to multitask, to be honest.
Yeah.
And yes, BYUN once again going for the Marine first opening into Reactor. No, Tech Lab, in fact. So that's interesting. This usually indicates a Marauder push, doesn't it? With, yeah, there we go, with concussive shells.
Ah. Now we don't... Yep. I guess on this map might be alright. I mean, because there are those kind of acceleration zones. So makes it easier to kind of travel across the map a bit faster. And so I think he's going to go ahead and take full advantage of this, throwing down the 2nd racks as well. So yeah, we're going to definitely see a kind of a timing push of some sort coming out of BYUN.
Yeah, I was going to say, this map is actually quite big, but I guess with those acceleration zones, it's, you know, you can somewhat mitigate that a bit. Of course, this build, actually, I would say it's a very strong build. If a Protoss is prepared with shield batteries, like, it really can sometimes, you know, do almost no damage at all, but if you know, if a Protoss is caught with its pants down, it can do quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, and ZEST does spot it, but at the, of course, the risk of losing the. Yep, yeah. All right, first initial shield battery. Now, I would suggest to ZEST that he would throw down maybe another shield battery, because we do see sometimes that, you know, the Terran players will just go ahead and just focus fire on that one shield battery, and it kind of becomes null and void.
It makes sense though, like, you know, the shield battery can't heal itself, can heal everything else, just not itself.
Yeah.
So at least you're doing, you know, definite damage there.
And look at that, BYUN does exactly that. Takes out the shield battery, no more healing here for a ZEST. But does survive.
Yep. Says swapping in an additional Stalker and Sentry. I like the Sentry opener in PvT, to be honest. Usually I go Sentry as the 2nd unit, just because, you know, you can get a hallucinated Phoenix out and see what your opponent is doing. But of course, ZEST went Adept first this game, and he was able to spot, you know, the Marine and Marauders coming.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, because, you know, he's opening up with Twilight Council. If you can kind of skip and delay the Robo in favor of maybe a faster third, then yeah, that's actually a pretty good thing, and you could just use the hallucinated Phoenix to scale. And also, it's pretty good in straight up fight with the Guardian Shield against, you know, the projectile attacks of the Bow units.
ZEST is actually going for a 2-gate opener even before Robo, and has already taken his 3rd. This is a very greedy opener. Let's see whether he gets away with it.
Indeed. We do see...
This is something like I see Australia like to do a lot. 2-gate expand. I'm not sure when he takes his Robo though. Just if I guess since he knew that BYUN came over with concussive shell Marauders, he didn't need to build a Robo for an earlier ops. For let's say Widowmine drops, right? Especially with armories.
Yeah.
Armory.
I
So
mean,
it looks like he's gonna be able to get away with it.
yeah, as long as he has enough gateways to power through and hold on any incoming attack, he should be fine. But here we go. The move out from BYUN has commenced, and he is gonna go ahead and try to get on top of these stalkers. Does get a couple of them.
Yep. BYUN following up with a 3-1-1 build. I'm not sure how ZEST is going to be able to hold, to be honest. He doesn't have many gateways at the moment.
Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and try to rely on these shoe batteries to help with the defense. Although maybe with some good force field, but this is a really, really large surface area, so I don't think force fields are going to be too effective here.
Yep. Charge not done as well. He's going to have to rely on Blink Stalkers. Does seem to have enough to scare BYUN away.
Alright. Pushing forward. Force field there. Pretty useless. We do see that there are 2 medevacs full of units coming across the map as well. This is going to get scary. It looks like BYUN is setting up a nice little sandwich flank here. Oh man, ZEST got to be careful.
Yep. This is how you play against Protoss. You need to pull them apart, because when they have their Death Ball army, those things does not look anything at all like Death Ball army. Like, it's easier to beat Protoss when you're being pulled apart. It's very hard for them to defend 2 locations at once.
Yeah, but BYUN gonna be careful a bit, just making sure not to fight against the Protoss army while that shoe battery overcharge is happening. Gonna go ahead and retreat back here and just recharge his repair some of his infantry units here.
He definitely can be very happy with that 11 probes he killed. Right, so let's see what's the tech of choice ZEST will opt for. He's still on gateway unit.
Yeah, sticking with that gateway unit, it's gonna go ahead and throw down the Templar Archive to get at least some sort of splash damage units, especially since the army composition of BYUN is in these bio units. Getting some sort of splash damage is going to really, really help. But is BYUN going to give him the time to even get to that? Oh man,
there's not much one show battery can do, when faced against a huge amount of bio units. Like you said, you need splash damage for that.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Blink Stalkers and Immortals against this, not the best scenario for the Protoss, and BYUN is going to go ahead and take the series 2-0.